Hello and welcome to another Impulsive Compulsion here on Question the Truth with me, Slisk Lindqvist, and we are going to talk about this. So, free energy or a hint of understanding. Well, that's kind of crap and bullshit at the moment because what I'm actually thinking of is magnetism and gravity. So let's go over to this. This is a bad representation of, let's see, a toroidal field or a torus field. Well, torus field should actually give a hint of what this is, but it doesn't. For the uninitiated, it's just a electromagnetic field, right? So let's see here. Go to the next picture. This is the actual motion that the field is doing. I'm going to show this motion later on because this is also the motion of something else that people with a degree in physics should look at that and think, well, isn't that, yeah, hold that thought. So this is the movement or the motion of it. You can see something strange forming when you see this motion. You could see it here also, not as clear as you will, but this is the actual motion of an electric field or a torus field, toroidal field, magnetic field rather. Now, how come this came into the picture, right? Okay, because this is basically the same thing. It's just an old with the motion you get God, in this case energy. So in a closed circuit, a movement in a closed circuit will give you energy. So let's, here's also some esoteric, this is the Celtic knot, and this is the Holy Trinity. So basically the same thing. They are situated in here. Here you can see one, there you can see another, which makes that a triangle, that a triangle, but only one of them. You can see that this is the seed of life, and it's two triangles, which takes me to this, the Star of David, which is two triangles. It is two different polarizations come together. This is the Metatron cube, which is a four-dimensional, how should I, well, the Metatron's cube is within the flower of life, and it is a 4D object in a 2D depiction that gives out the 5 platonic solids, which you can see here. It's the same picture basically. 4 sides, tetrahedron, dual tetrahedron. This is what I'm talking about. This is this. Just missing. This is a 2D representation of a 3D object, which is this one here, dual tetrahedron. Here is closed circuit with opposing forces causes resistance, or well, kind of. It's also Flower Life, Genesis pattern, and a symbol for some controllerism. I don't know what that is, but this is basically the thing I'm talking about. It is it is energy through resistance. Free energy would then be an inverted pulse control of this, basically switching. It's not free energy, but it is holding two different polarities at the same time, basically, which would be very, very difficult because you need to kind of have their frequencies in each other without causing resistance, and that is how you create gravity, control gravity, create a force field for other frequencies not to penetrate. So it's more, it becomes like a Faraday cage, but it's not a Faraday cage. It would hold some frequencies within and stop others, so it would basically work as our own geomagnetic field or electromagnetic field that is on geomagnetic and electromagnetic. So electromagnetic. It's opposites to each other, creating gravity and the opposite. This is a well-known GIF or well-known thing, especially in the truther communities, wherein they have these crazy ideas about this that I'm not even going to go into it, but you can see here, this is a depiction of energy with a pulse, and 9 basically, what 9 does is not shifting plus and minus. It is basically the relay for the pulse change of 3 and 6. So yeah, and the other, like 8, 4, 7, 5 and 5, 4, 1, 2 is basically two opposite fields, kind of. This is the motion that was on the second picture that I showed. It is called the tennis racket theorem, or the Zane-Bekov effect. But Nikola Tesla got it in this. it's a continuous motion over and over and over again, wherein 9 inverts the pulse over and over again. We need to figure out how that mechanism happens in order to actually recreate this effect. Because this is a very slow depiction of what it is, but it never changes direction. Now I didn't have any good things, but I do have the Zane-Bekov effect in the works here, and this is from the International Space Station. This is also theorized that this is how a so-called polar shift happens, but if you understand magnetism better, then you also understand that it's not two fields. It's here you can see two distinct triangles, right? But it's more like this, but still not like that. It's more like the Mobius, and that is why this is here. But this is only a half of the motion, so it's not really there. So when you have the how should I put it? Our electromagnetic field is a pulse inverted field, which means it interlopes itself, and it will be registered as two fields, or one field having two poles. Because of its inverted nature, it's actually a Mobius field, which gives out one field with an inside and outside, an inverted field, which gives the how should I say, illusion of two poles, but rather it's one in an inverted polarization state. So this is something I created some years ago. It is the universal balance. Now, I didn't quite think about it that much at the time. It was more like a religious symbol, or it is kind of like my how should I put it? My life philosophy. So within this circle is the balance. You have the let's say capitalism here, and you have socialism here. Within socialism you will have a division of what is good and what is bad, and the same will be said about capitalism. And I can't really remember what these two are supposed to be, but it's supposed to be happiness and something else, and this should be given. It's about morals, and morals are often black or white-ish in all occasions. So it's perceived as evil more than it's perceived as good. It's perceived more as good than evil. So here we have National Socialism, and here we have communism. Here we have socialism as it's at its best, and here we have capitalism at its best, and here the outer rim of it is closer to the chaos, wherein everything is inverted, where what was once good is now bad, what was once bad is now good. It's an inverted state of mind. So the best point to exist in the true balance is in the null zone, but it is also the zone where you either spend your time in because you give in, or you give up. Give in to the polarization and give in to the ideas, basically, in order to be non-polarized, or giving up flying through the axis of choices. Just giving in is more like being really flexible. Giving up is being dead mid. It is the zone of no resistance. It's basically death. So this here is a depiction of energy and values and passion and a lot of things. So and from this here I came to think of that everything comes in fours, as in 1, 2, 3, 4. So everything comes in fours, and when you think of it in fours, you also see it as a force, as power or determination through resistance, and we can start to think about all of the other things regarding, well, now it's really super off topic, but I also saw a picture from a friend's channel, and while he didn't, I'm gonna check if I can find that. YouTube, watching too many YouTube videos. Let's see. Let's see. One Harmony. Is that the channel name? Yeah. Okay. So he has this picture. He showed this picture to me, and my mind just snapped full on. And he talks about it, but not really that much. He uses it. You can see it here. it is a mathematical picture. It is math. It is a graphical depiction of energy, but I couldn't understand it at a time, and I don't know if he actually understands it at all, because he haven't been making any videos about it. So anyway, from my part, I created this, which is basically his, wherein I didn't understand why I did it. I made this in a manic episode, so I didn't understand why I did it. I didn't understand how it came to be that I made it as I did either. But it is energy, and it is basically the something that is close to this, but it is still this is mathematical, so I get really super emotional talking about it also, and it's wrong here. I wrote electromagnetic spectrum, but it's supposed to be magneto-electric spectrum, or it is the electric. No, it is the electromagnetic spectrum, but it is magnetism and electricity via the electromagnetic spectrum. Yeah, sure. I did do it right, but I don't understand why I did it. Yeah. So this is the center point of energy. This spins these two here. They flip through these ones, and they spin on the center axis, which is a vibration, and they are also vibrations, but for myself, I don't know anything more than that. I don't understand it fully. I just made it like this, and I made it in the same color scheme as sorry for that, but basically it's the same picture. It is the same picture. So just that this is physics and this is a life philosophy, a flag for the universal balance. I'm getting to okay. So, and also got this, yeah, dividing. There's a lot of symbolism, so I just took this in, because as a very, very small group actually knows about me, is that I am an Asgardian citizen. And Asgardia is a nation that was created in, or a kingdom created in 2016, or I think it was 2016. It was 2016 that I applied for a dual citizenship, but it's not been fully recognized by the governments and nations of the world. So it's in the works. There's a lot of people like myself is still questioning a lot of things about the governmental structure, the economics within, and the ethics, and a lot of other things, questioning the authority to the maximum. But I think it's needed when a new, or rather is it a new? I have another thought about time also, that time is interlooping, which is that it could be like when you spin something up. You know, when you have a pendulum and you spin it to one side, the momentum will kind of dissipate and it will shift polarity. It's the same thing. It's this whole thing with the oh yeah, okay. Anyway, what I was thinking about this is that hold them separate and alone they will not be of any use. And I think it's the same thing with with the understanding of electrical fields. We create electrical fields from a pulse motion, wherein we have a full rotation. We rotate, but we I think we do it wrong. I think we need to spin it up until resistance is high, and then let it go so that it spins the other way around, which means it would generate energy on the axis, but not in the electrical field, and then restart it over again so that it's, well, I don't know how to explain it. I can't get it out of my head because it's a freaking motion and I don't know which words to use in order to explain it at all, because I don't have the words for this motion. It's called the Zane-Bekov effect. Well, not this motion. This motion isn't called anything. This motion is something that is registered, while the actual motion is called, or the visual this is called the Zane-Bekov effect, or the tennis racket theorem, and this is the motion that is done by the object in vacuum, or in null or low gravity circumstances. That it's not in vacuum, but low, yeah. And why we have a difference in the electrical field, because of gravity. I think gravity is is part of the electrical geomagnetic field. It is not gravity, it is electrical it is polarity attraction through electricity, basically. Yeah, I think that's enough for me, because I'm starting to stutter starting to stutter, because as I've come to understand it, people that, yeah, I don't even like talking about it. But anyway, that's all for now. Thank you for watching, listening, or whatever, and have a nice day, night, evening, morning, something. Long live and prosper.